Hi guys, welcome here. You are watching K-pop euphoria. I would like to point out now, before we even dive in deeper, I am not hating on any of these groups. I stem both. I just want to compare the treatment between the two groups. So today, we are diving into a topic that's been on my mind for a long time now. Ever since Babymonster debuted in 2023, YG Entertainment's latest girl group, I realized that there are a lot of differences between how YG founder Bang Si-hyuk is treating Babymonster and Blackpink. So, let's take a look into that. Let's start with their discography. So, basically, Blackpink debuted in 2016. They have 32 songs, which is actually a little bit sad if you think about it. In like 8 years. In 2016, as a debut, we got Whistle and Boombeya. Also in 2016, we got two more songs, Stay and Playing with Fire. Then in 2017, As If It's Your Last, as their first release single. In 2018, their first EP, Square Up, with 4 songs, Duru Duru Du, Forever Young, Really, and See You Later. Also, in 2018, it was their first collaboration with another artist, which was Dua Lipa on Kiss and Make Up. In 2019, their first mini album, Kill This Love, dropped, with 4 songs again, Kill This Love, Don't Know What to Do, Kick It, and Hope Not. 2020, the album. How You Like That, Ice Cream, Pretty Savage, Bet You Wanna, Love Sick Girls, Crazy Over You, Love to Hate Me, and You Never Know. So, 8 new songs. Also, in 2020, along the album, they released a collaboration single with Lady Gaga named Sour Candy. So, this is basically Lady Gaga's song, but Blackpink was heavily on the track too. 2020, Born Pink with 8 new songs again. Pink Venom, Shutdown, Type of Girl, Yeah Yeah Yeah, Hearts to Love, The Happiest Girl, Tally, and Ready for Love. Then, in 2023, they dropped a song named Diggers for the mobile phone game Blackpink The Game. So basically that's all that they did in their 8 years, which is slowly reaching to 9. So, let's take a look at Babymonster's discography, which they are like in a year or something. So basically, in 2023, they had Dream, their pre-debut track. A few months later, they debuted in 2023 with the single Better Up. Then, in 2024, their first single was Stuck in the Middle. Then 2024, Still, their first mini album with 7 members dropped since Ahyun returned from hiatus. The album was basically called Babymonster, containing 7 songs, Dream, and 7-member versions of their previous songs, which were without Ahyun, so they contained Ahyun on these tracks, and 3 more songs, plus a remix of Stuck in the Middle. So basically on this album we got 3 new songs. 2024 summer, they dropped a single named Forever. This was their pre-release track for their first full album, which dropped in 2024 autumn, named Drip. This contained 9 songs, 7 new songs, their pre-release single Forever, and the remix of their debut track Better Up. In 2025, their Japanese single dropped named Ghost. So basically, Babymonster has got 17 songs until up now. So let's compare that. Blackpink in 8 years since their debut dropped 32 songs. And Babymonster has 17 songs in a year and a half after their debut. Now, let that sink in. After their discography, let's take a quick look at the treatment of the members. So, basically, Ahyun went on hiatus before debut due to health reasons, and YG just simply let her heal. Then, right now, Rami is on hiatus due to health reasons too. And YG is really letting her rest. Meanwhile, Jennie had to perform live with injuries, and Lisa was sent to military reality show while YG said that to her it's going to be a dancing show. Also, she had sleeping paralysis, yet Jisoo was the one helping her, not a therapist or YG himself. YG supports Babymonsters, always goes to their shootings. He was there on Clack, Drip, Forever, and even Sheesh. He even goes to Babymonsters' track recordings in the studio. He goes to their concert practices. But have you ever saw him cheering for Blackpink like that? Or goes to their practices or their shootings? Well, if you did, write in comments, but I did not. I'd also like to break down choreographies and dressing. So, most members of Babymonster are minors, especially were in their debut eras. Yet, many of them had very revealing clothes and they were made to do dances clearly not very appropriate. Meanwhile, and since the video is about comparing the treatment between the two groups, I'm with Blackpink right now. In their debut era, they didn't get many too revealing dresses, even though they were older than Babymonster members themselves. Also, Blackpink didn't get half as many provocative choreographies in their debut era at all. As time passed, they got a little into it, but still, I wouldn't say it was ever that bad as Babymonster is now. Meanwhile, YG made a 15-year-old twerk. And this brings us to my next topic today. Trends. Well, yes, so Babymonster have been posting both in YouTube Shorts and TikTok many videos, trends, recreating challenges, promoting their songs. It is honestly great to see them smiling and enjoying trends. Meanwhile, YG never let Blackpink do these things. We barely see other than announcements on Blackpink's TikTok, and their YouTube is more than that me in summer at 105 degrees. I think many people would love seeing them join challenges, but at least promote their songs like other groups do. So next up on my list is tours. Blackpink's first real tour kicked in 2018 November 10 in Seoul. It was their very first world tour in your area. It was ultimately 824 days after their debut, means 2 years and about 3 months. Meanwhile, Babymonster started their Asia fan meeting tour 186 days after their debut. Although a fan meeting tour is far not as tiring or long as a world tour, it is way sooner than Blackpink. Let's point it out that Ahyun was only joining Babymonster on April 1st, means she was only a 1-month-old rookie starring 12 shows in 6 cities. And if that wasn't enough and you wanted to comment that, hello, it's a really small tour, let me remind you that their world tour, their very first world tour, kicked off on 2025 January 25th. Marking it a 445-day world tour start since their debut. That is barely a year since their debut and not even a year for Ahyun. So basically, this time I am with Blackpink again. Waiting more to let them get a proper fanbase is important. Sending rookies on big stages so soon could have led to half-full stadiums. News also reported that Babymonster struggled to sell out stadiums, which led to taking the price lower, hoping some fans would buy tickets that way. So my conclusion. Treatment from YG towards the two groups. Babymonster is definitely treated better than Blackpink. It feels like he is kind of a father to the group, but only a nightmare for Blackpink that just won't go away. Next up, YG management in music. Seriously, it is obvious that Babymonster is getting so much more output and credit. Which is not the problem. The problem is that YG doesn't put any effort nowadays into Blackpink anymore. Choreography and dressing. Blackpink always had unique clothes but never really made it too much until they were minors. Meanwhile, Babymonster had some choreo I deeply doubt and I personally like to fire some stylists there. The member treatments individually. Baby is supported not only as a group but as individuals. Every member gets recap and feedback from YG himself. Meanwhile, Blackpink was left alone suffering in their camera-full so-called private house. Their tour management. I have to give this one to Blackpink. Their marketing was just better on this one. Trends and social media presence. YG is noticeably letting Babymonster post so much more content, sometimes even 3 times a week. Meanwhile, Blackpink's social looks like literally dead. Effort YG put into the groups. Babymonster really felt like they were thought through, planned, and YG knows that. And Blackpink feels like they were just meltdown along their 80 million plus blinks along for tours and single songs in 2 years.